Same way you can ask the smart assistant, like, hey, can you help me find my like blue and white polo shirt? And then it'll just keep taking photos until it like finds that shirt for you. Or it could be like walking through a mall and you're like, hey, read the names of the stores to me while I'm walking through this mall. And then it'll just keep taking photos and just read the names of the stores.
Hello everybody, this is Carrie on Accessibility and you're listening to the A11y Podcast, where we deep dive into assistive technology and disability. Today we're going to be talking about the Seleste Glasses, and I am really excited about this product. Today's episode is an interview I had with the CEO of Seleste, which is a really exciting product in the realm of assistive technology, and I won't spoil it for you. So we'll just go on to the interview now, and I will catch you on the other side to talk about my thoughts. Thank you so much for joining me today. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, thanks for having me. My name is Shubh. I'm the CEO at Seleste.
Amazing. And I saw Seleste for the first time through video, of course, at Site Tech Global 2020, and it's been a couple months now. So tell us about Seleste and what's changed and what's the news.
Yeah, no, it's been a while. The biggest thing since last year is that we finally released the glasses. When we first saw us at Site Tech, we were demoing it. We had it working internally, but we hadn't given it out. Now we've given out the glasses in beta, and we've worked on a lot of amazing features since then. Like we integrated the GPT. We have this really amazing smart assistant. So it's come a long way.
So for those of the audience that don't know anything about Seleste, they are smart glasses. You know more about it than I do. So go ahead and describe it for the people who may not be able to see it, and maybe share some of the features that it has in more detail.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a bit to go through here, but I'm wearing the glasses right now. They're black, sleek frames. We have a camera in the middle and then speakers on the side. They're assistive smart glasses, and so what that means is they'll take pictures and describe your environment. So like we have scanned text, which will just describe and read the text around you. So if you're reading a book or if you're reading your mail, it'll just keep reading the text around you. Our big feature, though, is the smart assistant. And so this is an assistant where you can ask it specific questions about your environment. So you can ask it questions like, what type of plant am I looking at? Or what shirt am I holding? Or how full is this ketchup bottle? A wide array of questions like that. And it's smart enough to be able to take a picture and answer that specific question. And this is powered by GPT. I'm working on a lot more features on the side, but the core, that's what we do.
What really stood out to me was how sleek this device is. We've seen a lot of wearable technology like the eSight, which doesn't necessarily do what Seleste does, but it's very big and bulky. We're familiar with like VR headsets and the up and coming Vision Pro from Apple, and it's like this big whole headset. And Seleste seems to be really almost just another pair of glasses. Could you maybe compare or share like how light it feels and how it compares to just a regular pair of glasses?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a big goal for us was to make smart glasses that don't look like smart glasses, where people can't tell that you're wearing something or that something looks off. And I think we've done that now, where if you're walking down the street, you're wearing the glasses, like people cannot tell that you're wearing smart glasses. They're just about 55 grams or 2 ounces, and so they're fairly light. And yeah, they look pretty much like normal glasses, other than that the legs are a bit thicker.
Can you tell that it has a camera? I mean, from a passerby's perspective, if you're walking down the street or in a store, is it pretty visible that in the middle there's a camera?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to like stare at someone for a while to see that there's a camera. It is noticeable, like if you're sitting across from someone or something like that, like you can tell that there is a camera, but if you're walking around, like you can't really tell.
Okay, so they have to really be focused on it. The speakers, are they bone conduction, or could you tell us a little bit more about them?
Yeah, so it's an open air speaker, so it's just it's right next to your ear though, so like you can hear it really well. But for other people, it's a lot harder to hear. And if they're far away, they won't be able to hear it at all. So yeah, it's a speaker on the glasses.
Gotcha. Okay. I actually like that better than bone conduction. I haven't had very good luck with them. Now, does it have a wire? Is it wired?
No, yeah, it's completely wireless. I mean, that's part of. I think it'd be pretty easy to tell you're wearing smart glasses if there's a wire coming out of your face. So it was important to keep it wireless. I mean, people can connect it to like a power bank if they want to have it wired and have a longer battery life. But our battery life is about 6 hours of active usage, and so people don't really need to have a battery pack.
So if you have them on, is it just actively on and scanning, or do you have to prompt it? Are there any buttons on the device?
So there's two buttons on the top of the glasses, and you use that to power them on and off and control the different modes. There's also swiping to increase and decrease the volume. It's up to you if how you want to use the glasses, and if you want to just do ask one single question and take one picture, or to continuously scan and read everything around you, and do that like without having to press anything. And so we have both features. Yeah, and I can show off some of what our glasses can do now.
Yes, that would be amazing. Please do.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So, like I mentioned, it connects to the phone over Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. And so once the glasses are connected, you can put the phone away in your pocket and just use the glasses. And so I mentioned there's different modes. There's scan text, scene description, smart assistant, things like that. So if I press the scene description photo right now, it'll take a picture.
The image shows an indoor setup, likely an office environment. In the foreground, there's a potted plant with green leaves that have light-colored variegation. The plant appears to be in a white pot with a saucer and is placed on a white table. Behind the plant, there's an open laptop displaying a screen with various elements, which are indistinct. The screen seems to show a web page with images and possible text content, but the specific details of the website or the content being displayed are not clearly discernible. The laptop is connected to a power cord which is resting on the table. In the background, we can notice part of an office chair and what appears to be a whiteboard with writing on it. The writing on the whiteboard is not legible. The overall scene is typical of a workspace with office supplies and equipment.
That is really cool. It reminds me of Be My AI, except it's hands-free.
Yeah, absolutely, exactly. Yeah, no, and so that was just like describing as much as it could around you.
Mhm.
And like if I was kind of like looking away from my laptop, so it described a bit more like the plant and the whiteboard and things like that. But if I looked at my laptop, it could tell me like, hey, you're on YouTube and you're like watching this video, or like this is the text on your screen, or this is a book you're reading. Like it could read those things as well, and like handwriting and all that.
Can you do document scanning as well?
Yeah, and so like you can we also have modes specifically just for text, but what we're really like trying to get people to learn how to do the glasses is be able to use a smart assistant to ask these kinds of questions where you can just ask like, hey, just like read this document, or who is this like letter from,
Mm.
things like these like specific questions that people don't usually ask. And so you can do scans text, but I think the amazing thing is that you can get that level of detail for everything else in the world as well.
Gotcha.
Uh,
Yeah. So do you press a
yeah.
button to call up the assistant? Is that how that works?
Yeah, yeah. So there's buttons on the glasses, and so if you double press, it'll switch modes. If you single press, it will like execute that mode.
And it will announce it once it switches modes, I'm guessing.
Yeah, yeah. So like right now,
Smart Assistant.
so like this is me switching modes. If I double press, it will go through it.
Text recognition. Scene description. Text.
Yeah.
Wait, could
So
you keep going so we could hear all the modes?
so those are the four modes:
Okay.
smart assistant, text recognition, and scene description. And scan text and text recognition is very similar. It's just the difference between scan text will continue reading text around you. You don't have to keep pressing the button every time. Whereas text recognition is just you use it one time to read one thing. It just depends on what you're trying to read.
Gotcha. So, is it able to find specific objects? Um, Because I know typically when you're using something to describe your scene, it takes a picture or like one snapshot
Yeah.
of whatever it sees. Would it be able to take multiple pictures to find something, or would you have to ask it each time?
Yeah, no, that's a really great question. That's exactly we're actually going to be updating the app to do that in 2 weeks. And so like it's the same as like scan text, right? You can use scan text and it'll just read all the text. And the same way you can ask the smart assistant, like, hey, can you help me find my like blue and white polo shirt? And then it'll just keep taking photos until it like finds that shirt for you. Or it could be like walking through a mall and you're like, hey, read the names of the stores to me while I'm walking through this mall. And then it'll just keep taking photos and just read the names of the stores.
That sounds really cool, especially as they continue to improve Chat GPT-4. Right now, the responses do take some time to generate. Is that about the same response that you would expect from just asking Chat GPT-4 or other services that are similar?
Stores. At the core, that's what we're doing is just GPT, but you can these things definitely become faster, and like when you ask specific questions like read the names of the stores, it doesn't take as long, right? Like that what you heard is the longest that it would ever take because it's trying to describe every single thing in front of you. When you ask a specific question, it is much faster at just telling you the answer for that. And so I think when you're walking around and
Mm.
reading store names, I think we could do it where like every 5 seconds or so it's able to go and take a picture and analyze it. And so unless you're sprinting down the mall, like you'll be able to get everything. I think people. I don't think the latency is as bad as people think or are used to.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I mean, the implications are just kind of astounding to me. And I think at some point, ChatGPT is going to be able to handle video and go faster. And I can just imagine how far this technology can really go. I know you mentioned that you're sending out some beta devices. Do you have an expected release?
Yeah, I mean that's an interesting question. I think like we are kind of transitioning. Like we were in early beta before, and now we realize that we can send out more glasses than we were getting a lot of good feedback, and so we wanted to expand the number of people that we're going to give our current pair of glasses to. And so we're expanding that now, and you can order from our website. But that being said, like we part of like the culture at Seleste is that we like move really quickly. And it's like we've been updating our app about like twice a week, and so it's really often. That's how like for example like if you heard the voice when I was describing that, like we updated the voice. That sounds very natural. It's like that, and that was like just last week. And so we update really often. But I guess like part of that is that like sometimes things break, or sometimes like we have bugs and things, and we fix that really quick. But that's just part of our what we're building, and so I think that's just something that people will have to understand as they get the product. But just know that you'll be getting like the newest technology through our glasses, and so it's kind of out of beta, and you can order right now, and we will ship it within 2 months of you ordering the glasses.
What other things are you testing out right now, or what are you excited for this product moving forward?
I think the my vision for this product is that in the future, I want to replace like our reliance on the way we use technology right now, like phones and laptops. I think like the way we use technology now is just so manual. Like you just have to tell it, you have to carry it around with you, you have to pull it out when you need it and tell it exactly what you needed to do for you. And every time, right, if you needed to read something, you have to open an app, take a picture, like all these things. And so with glasses, for the first time, you have technology that's allowed to be passive. Like it can just understand like you and your environment, and that can help you with lots of tasks throughout your life. But even like do things like enhance your memory or help you with tasks. And so I think that's the future of what we're doing is like right now through the glasses, we also have it so that whenever I take a picture or I talk to the assistant, it'll remember and understand that stuff as well. And so, like my assistant, for example, knows who I am and knows what Seleste is as a company and like updates on our company. And I talk to it like to help with challenges that we face. And so that means it right now can help me like it could draft an email for me right now, or it could like write up a privacy policy for Seleste, or like do these like tasks for me
Mm-hmm.
that understands what we're building. Or so the same way, like if you take a picture of your fridge and you tell it to describe everything, later on when you go to a grocery store, you could ask it to remind you what was in your fridge. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think these tools are incredibly powerful, and it's going to be able to do a lot more things than I think people expect assistive technology to do.
You were talking about write an email for me. Now, it's a pair of glasses. Where exactly would it put that email?
Yeah, well, we have this working internally in the company, but like we can integrate with Gmail. We have that working internally where
Mm-hmm.
when you get an email, it can prompt you and be like, "Hey, you got this email. Do you want me to respond with this?" Like for example, if someone emailed us and they're like, "Hey, when are the glasses going to be delivered?" And like my assistant knows that it's in 2 months, and so it could just automatically write that over, and I could just check it over and it'd send it. And so um, it can save me time in that sense. And because we're integrating with these services, it can actually take action and do that work.
I see. I see. What would be really cool is if you could, save notes for yourself. Oh, what did I have to remember? I'm always forgetting things like, oh, when's my next meeting?
Yeah,
And just so many things pop up in my head. And if I don't write them down, I will completely forget them. So this sounds like it could have a lot of potential.
yeah, and that's the best part of this is like you wouldn't have to say, "Oh, take a note of this," or like remember this for me. You just say it. You'd be like, "Oh, hey, I ran out of tomatoes. Like I need to get tomatoes." And then when you go to the grocery store, you can be like, "Hey, what do I need to get?" And it'll just remember that you said this 2 weeks ago that you need tomatoes, and it'll remind you of it. And so yeah, it kind of is seamless in that
Mhm.
sense.
Now, I do want to go back a little bit for the, reading. Let's say I have a piece of mail, right?
Yeah.
And I need to read this piece of mail. Will it help guide me? I know a lot of people who are blind who have trouble um, putting things in frame, especially with a camera, and especially if you do have some vision, you don't necessarily know how to angle the camera. Will it guide you or help you, or maybe tell you move down a little so I can see the whole, image?
Yeah. Yeah, and I know what you mean. I think like Celeste is actually the only smart glasses company that has a camera in the middle of the glasses. So
That I really like, actually, for practical purposes.
yeah, like I mean the goal is that you don't have to do that. You don't have to worry about positioning or like worrying about the stuff or getting instructions on that. Like the camera's in the middle, and so whatever you're like naturally looking at or like pointing your head towards, it'll be able to read. And so you don't have to worry about that stuff.
Yeah, that can still pose a bit of a challenge. Um, Especially for those who have a more limited sight. So it would be really interesting to actually hear more about that in the future. Could you share about how much are these glasses? I know back in last year or earlier this year, you were thinking about about under 1,000 700 or somewhere that you didn't quite set a price. But I did check on the website and it seems to be $100 and then once you order, and then $50 per month once you get it. Could you explain exactly how it works?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean, obviously, another huge part of this was making assistive technology that's affordable, right? Assistive technology also hasn't been affordable. There's this like huge upfront barrier to getting access to this kind of technology. And so, what we did was have a subscription model where it's just $100 upfront, and then it's $50 every month. And then in return for that, like we'll upgrade the software for you, upgrade the hardware for you. But it's $50 every month, just like Netflix, just a subscription. But in exchange, like we upgrade the hardware as well. And so, again, you don't get stuck with this like old technology that's like 5, 10 years old. We're just like constantly upgrading. So you're on the newest version. Um, yeah, that way there isn't the upfront barrier.
Why choose a subscription model? And over the years, won't that be quite a bit of money? And $50 a month is quite expensive for a lot of our community. A lot of us are not making enough to spend $50 every month on something like this.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. I think if we look at like the other smart glasses that are out there, though, like we see that instead of having this like big cost upfront, having a monthly just makes it easier. And so like with some of the other smart glasses out there, you would have to pay our subscription for more than like 7 years to actually get to pay the same amount of money as you would to just outright buy another pair of smart glasses. And the important thing is that with I hear a lot of people like buy smart glasses or buy assistive technology, and after the first couple months or after a year, they don't use it anymore. Um, and for our company, like we will fail as a company if that happens. Like we'll go under if people aren't getting value out of it and actually using it. And so then we need, we need to make sure that people are actively using the glasses every month. And if that's the case, if people are actively using it, then you also wouldn't want technology that's 7, 10 years old. And so by updating it, we're actually ideally you're spending less money paying for the subscription than you would just like outright buying the products every couple of years.
Mm-hmm. Is there a trial period?
We actually have a promotion right now where so I guess this one thing is like there's $100 deposit up front. That deposit is fully refundable, and so if you decide a couple weeks later that you don't want the glasses anymore, we can 100% refund that. We also have a promotion right now where the first month when you get the glasses is free, so there's no subscription cost for the first month, and you can try out the glasses then and see if you like it or not before you start paying the subscription.
What if it's been, maybe a year, and let's say, oh, I don't actually want this to use this anymore. You would stop paying the subscription, and we would also send it back. I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And so you don't have to keep paying if you think you're not using it anymore. And same way, like when we give you new hardware, you just ship back the old glasses, then we send you the new hardware.
Would we be able to use this for both iOS and Android?
Actually, right now we're focusing mainly on iOS. So that's a good question. We're mainly for iPhone users right now.
So it's not available on Android.
Not right now. I think in the next couple months, we hope to get Android working, but right now we're focused on iOS.
Gotcha. Okay. A little bit disappointed to hear about that, but a lot of companies seem to prioritize iOS. Is there anything else that you'd like to share about the product or the company?
Yeah, I'm just excited to be able to expand the number of people getting glasses, and I'm really excited to. I think we've built a good culture at Celeste where like the people that have gotten the glasses are really great at like giving us feedback and like telling us what they like and what they want us to change, and we're really on top of that. And so just know like when you get the glasses, we will be like calling you, we will be like asking for feedback, and so that's part of uh, like getting the glasses. But yeah, no, I'm just excited to keep building this product.
Yes, it's things like this type of assistive technology that's moving forward that I'm super excited about. AI, like I've mentioned before on this channel, is just going to change the landscape when it comes to somebody who is blind or visually impaired or has a disability. Thank you so much for joining me. Where can people go to check out and learn more about Seleste?
So you can check out the glasses on our website. So that's seleste.co, seleste.co. And then if you have any questions, feel free to email me. So my email is shubh@seleste.co. So that's shubh@seleste.co.
Amazing. And I will make sure to add those links down in the description. Thank you again so much. Really looking forward to seeing this product.
Yeah, great. Thanks for having me.
There you have it. That was the interview. I'm really, really excited about this product. I ordered mine a few days ago, but I'm kind of disappointed that first, it is going to take 2 months to ship. Well, it is a beta product, so I guess I just have to wait, even though I'm not very patient and not very good at waiting. And second, I am really disappointed that it's not available on Android. I'll have to hunt my iPhone down and use that. This is something that I've been waiting for when it comes to AI. I am really excited about this product, and I will be even more stoked when Chat GPT or these AI models are able to process video and be even faster. So often I still rely on people who can see, whether it's my mom or my niece and my nephew, and say, what's that? What's happening over there? Can you help me to go to X, Y, and Z? And I just can see the potential of this product and what AI can bring us. Maybe it's not going to be this product, maybe it will, but what AI could potentially do. And I am really excited. It could just have an audio describer at all times. I am not so sure about the whole pricing. It really depends on how much utility it actually has. Often we hear all this information, all this really cool stuff in marketing and interviews, but when we actually get it, is it actually going to be helpful? Are we actually going to use it? There's so many studies about how people get assistive technology, they purchase it or they get funding for it, and then they use it for a little while and then they just end up not using it. And I think the reason is we always have a layer to be able to do something. We always have to pick up our phone or another device or maybe a combination, and it takes time, it takes effort to do those things. When a sighted person just sees a phone, they can just see it, they can just use it. It's intuitive, it's integrated. They don't have to have an extra step. And us as blind and visually impaired people with disabilities, we always have to have an extra step. And hopefully this product fulfills that promise of making things easier. We'll have to see. I'll probably do a live stream unboxing it and trying to set it up and test it out. I'm really excited about it and I just can't wait to get my hands on it. I'm really hoping that I don't have to wait until February 2024 to try these out. When you compare this to something like Orcam, which could be $2,000-ish for the Orcam Read and almost $5,000 for the My Eye Pro or something like that. And then there's the Envision glasses that are around $2,000 and up, plus a subscription, by the way. $100 up front is super cheap. The thing that gets to me is the $50 a month. He did compare it to Netflix, but Netflix is what? $13? $15? How much is a Netflix subscription? $20 subscription, right? It just is still a lot more expensive, and you just really have to calculate the expense versus how useful it is. And so that's the question. Is it really that life-changing that I can afford $50 a month for this thing? I do really like the idea that you could stop paying the monthly subscription and then just return the glasses. But what if somebody doesn't return the glasses? Or what if they want to pause it? You can't pay that amount of money for a couple of months. How does that work? Are you not able to do anything with the glasses anymore? For this, I feel like you have to stop thinking of it as a product. It's almost not a product, and it's more like you're paying for a service that, to be able to get the service, you have to have a physical device, but it's still essentially a service. So you can't actually own this product. I don't know what the right solution is, but this is something that I haven't seen before necessarily, at least with assistive technology, and it's going to be really interesting to see how this unfolds. Let me know, what do you think? What do you think about the device? And what do you think about this whole pricing structure? And so sorry about the light. The sun is really killing my video right now. Let me know in the comments. Love to talk to you guys. And that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!